going to be working with the beginning part of the form. Now at the beginning of the form, the hands come down and then they come up and they draw back into fisted position. We're going to take just this movement out of the form to show you a little bit more defensive action. As a person comes in with a press and he's just about to strike me, what I'm going to do is draw the hand in on the ulnar nerve. As I do that, my other hand is going to be striking in and downward to pull the arm down and to weaken the body so it negates the ability of the punch coming in. And then I'm going to launch the hands. As the hands were coming up this way, it would be more of an attack type of a situation. So I'd be using the knuckles here right behind the facial nerve. Let's take a look at it on the other side so you can take a look. I'll be striking down on the ulnar nerve at the same time as the radial nerve, pulling him in and weakening the body for the hand to come right up behind the jaw there. So let's take a look at it one more time. Okay, coming in. Mythology. What you need to do is strike one of these aspects of the nerve, and if you just hit them, it's going to have an effect. So as the person comes in with the attacking movement, boom, boom, I hit them, and you'll see that the person drops down. Okay? All right. Now I used a knuckle in a fisted position. I didn't close the fist too hard. I didn't pull him into the attack, which would have a much more devastating effect for the safety of the uke. Okay, I just nailed it in with just a quick twisting of the hand there. So let's do it 3 more times. We're going to do this side. We came up, caught him, he parried. I caught in, I turned the person, I pushed him down. He's going into the choke technique. My hands now come up and across, and I have the opening for those attacks on the body. Let's try it on the opposite side. The hands have drawn in, I've come across, maybe he's throwing a punch, I pulled him in, he blocks it, I pushed him around into the choke, I use this to weaken the body, he reaches up to my head, I separate here, and then I drop the elbows into the clavicle area. Now I'm not trying to hit the clavicle bone, I'm hitting in the hollow pockets in between. So once again, he comes in with this, came across, he parried, come across, I've turned him, and he reaches up to my head, I separate the head. For real this time, I'm going to walk through the rest of the pattern, and right at the end I'll show you what that last strike will do. He comes in, and I've come through with this, I've come with a punch, turned him around, pushed him down, stretched him out, didn't work from here, I'm just going to press. Oh, that was good. Be able to build it. He comes in with the press, he came across with a punch, he deflected that, I grabbed, I've turned the person, I pushed him down, got him into the choke, but he's fighting with me, so I spread his arms, I dropped him, I turned him once again, he decided he was going to kick. I struck him, it didn't take him down, he's still viable, but he might be coming back, so that hand coming back would strike right behind the jaw. Now this time I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to face this way, Tom, if you could. Okay, once I strike behind the jaw, you're not going to see it because the hands are going to be hidden. You're going to be watching the striking application, but you're not going to watch the pulling application, so we get a double... Okay, the last part of the form and the last part of the sequencing, you have a barn cell into a tom cell, and then you've got the punching action at the end. Again, I'm not going through the form. You can find this on YouTube. If you're studying this form on your own, this just gives you a little bit more depth, but you know the movements that we're going into. Now, what I'm going to do, the nerves that are coming up, you have the lesser occipital nerve, you got a greater occipital nerve, but they run up the base of the skull. Right at the base of the occipital lobe here, we can access 4 nerves. Okay, and little branches too, but the 4 main nerves, they're the important ones. As I use my forearm, I'm going to slice it and bolts against this. Now, if I wanted to be that stickler that had to stay with my form, and I just did a back slap, what I'm going to show you now is I could attack that same nerve, but I could attack other nerves in between too. And just this hit, okay, can cause a slight dysfunction. Now, I didn't just slap him. Okay, I did something extra with my hand, and that is the actual application of that form coming up. Okay, I didn't just like take his head and go this way. Okay, too mechanical. If you do too mechanical, it doesn't work. Okay, you need to put a little bit of a turn into this to get that kind of an effect. the spine and the top of the hip. So I'm going to use just this bone. If I use the soft part, the shuto part of my hand, it just gives a little bit. I need that sharper bone to get in there to weaken out the body so you have that effect on the legs. And that way the person can't rotate back to fight you. He's sinking down. Just by turning, just like the form shows, okay, you're going to be able to affect those nerves because it wasn't protected by either of these structures. Again, let's turn sideways here, Mark. Now you can stand upright. Okay, if I have the hand at a 90-degree angle, you see how the trapezius stops and I have this space in here. Even the clavicle, if I really hammer down so the trapezius muscle compressed, the clavicle is going to protect. As I turn that hand 45 degrees, my elbow is right in that hollow pocket in there, and I can press to get that weakening. These nerves come up and they go up into the skull. Got the lesser and the greater occipital. Now, I'm just using my forearm as a slicing action. Now, it's hard to see with the camera, so I'm going to use the iron bone hand from the bubishi. If I slice across these nerves, if I push in one, it hurts, it weakens the body. If I strike one, you get a shocking effect too. When you strike across, boom, here, okay, you get a weakening as well. Pick the good one.